Now that you know how to apply individual transformations to functions, and you've looked at both vertical and horizontal translations, stretches, and reflections, we need to consider how to apply multiple transformations to a single function. So a typical question would be one like this. Again, you're given the same graph and table of values that we have been using so far, and we've defined them as y is equal to f of x. And given y is equal to f of x, we're asked to graph y is equal to negative f of 2x plus 2 plus 3. Okay, so graph y is equal to negative f of 2x plus 2 plus 3. And I'm going to show you 3 different methods to do this. But before that, we need to keep in mind a few things. With all of the methods that we're going to look at, it's important that you always factor to make the immediate coefficient of x equal to 1. So what does that mean? Well, in the way that this is written, the immediate coefficient of x, the one right in front of x, is 2, and we don't want that. So we have to common factor that out. So we're going to write negative f and then a bracket, common factor out the 2 out of everything here in the brackets. So we common factor 2 out and we get x plus 1 left over, like that. And then we still have our plus 3 at the end. So the immediate coefficient, the coefficient right in front of the x, is just 1. There's nothing else here besides that bracket. This 2 is now sort of moved off and separated by the brackets. And that's important because here, when we have x plus 1, we can see that one of the transformations that's been applied here is a horizontal translation of 1 to the left. Remember, plus 1 means 1 to the left when it's inside the brackets. Whereas up here, if you were to look at it, you might be fooled into thinking that this is a plus 2, and so it is 2 to the left, but it's actually not. You can only evaluate that using the methods I'm going to show you by first common factoring the 2 out so that the immediate coefficient of x is 1. Another thing to notice is that you can't bring this 2 out here in front of the f. Remember, everything in the brackets here is the input to the function, and f is the name of the function. So there's no multiplication happening between f and the stuff inside, which means, so you can't take this 2 out in front. It's very different to say negative 2f of and then some other stuff, and to have the 2 in this position. So you can't bring that 2, you can't cross the f with that 2. Now the next thing that's important to do is to list each transformation that you've got here. And so I've done that now on the right. This negative sign out in front is a vertical reflection. That 2 is a horizontal stretch, and remember, for horizontal stretches we have to flip that 2 upside down to get the stretch factor. So it's a horizontal stretch factor half. Things are going to be getting squished in towards the y-axis. That plus 1, as we said, means that you're going to have a horizontal translation left of 1, and this plus 3 is a vertical translation up 3. Remember, the vertical translations are intuitive. They kind of are what you expect. Plus 3 means up 3, whereas the horizontal ones are counterintuitive. Plus 1 means left 1. So it's helpful to write down all of the transformations for any of the methods that I'm going to show you. And then also using these methods, it's important to remember the order of transformations. Now, stretches and reflections are both essentially types of multiplication. You're multiplying a coefficient, whether it's positive or negative, by the x or the y value. Whereas translations are addition and subtraction. You're adding or subtracting values. So just like multiplication comes before addition and subtraction, stretches and reflections have to come before translations in these methods. Also, the vertical and horizontal transformations are happening in independent dimensions. Your moving up and down is not going to change your moving left and right. So it doesn't actually matter whether you do the vertical ones first and then the horizontal, or the horizontal ones first and then the vertical, or mix them up, as long as you do the stretches and reflections before the translations in each dimension. Okay, so in the next video, I'll look at the first of the 3 methods.